is a fine moment that we are welcoming to this our show, the Young Political Elite, where today we are glad to have our guests. As usual, as you can see, they are ready to give out their opinions. At first, I'm going to give them time to introduce themselves, then we just start off the show. Allow me to start with this side.
I'm Brian Yiling.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Brian.
I'm Olu Obwan.
Thank you, Mr. Olu. Then this side.
I am Samuel Musumuturi.
Yes, Samuel. And then finally,
we have Francis Musai.
Thank you so much, my guest. As usual, this is the Young Political Elite being sponsored by the Filamu Mtaani and the Campus Vines. As you can also continue to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Our guest, over the week you've been following something. Allow me to give you 1 minute each to say what you have been following throughout this week before we come to the main discussion of today. Mr. Masai.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Yes.
Let me say that throughout the week I've been following the political waves, the way they have been moving,
yes.
These political rallies, the likes of DP William Ruto, his political rallies where he has been moving in different areas across the nation. And also the main thing is the one which happened just the other day of Sagana.
Sagana.
That involved the Sagana thing which involved the Mr. President, where he declared his person who is feeling that he fits for the Kenyans. So I can say that.
Thank you so much. Yes, Samuel.
To add on to what my friend Francis has said, I've also been following on the political atmosphere of Kenya, and I'd like to say it is now at a boiling pitch, especially after the Sagana 3 meeting, which we'll discuss more later.
Thank you so much. Olu.
Okay, thank you. For me, I've been following Azimio La Umoja has been in the coastal part of the country. The DP has been in the larger eastern region, Makueni. And the bigger side of the story has been the Sagana 3 meeting.
Thank you so much. Yes, finally, Brian.
Thank you, Mr. Elfas. For me, I've been seeing the political atmosphere rising so fast as we approach the 2022 general elections. We saw the Sagana 3 declaration where the president declared his stand. We saw several parties coming together, forming unity. We saw Azimio acquiring PNU party.
Yes.
And we saw DP Ruto traversing parts of the country. Yesterday he was in Pambani and so on.
Thank you so much, my team. It is now 164 days to election. We all know that. And here comes the people are now seeing Mount Kenya. And now we have the question, the battle for Mount Kenya. Now, I don't know if they are battling because of the numbers they are having or whatever. So this is the time that I'm going to give you as my team to say more about the Mount Kenya, the battle, and what you understand about this. As now we remember that it's only 164 days to election. Here and there, things might change. Now, before things do, this is now the voice of the youth. According to the youth, the young political elites, what can you say about this? Allow me to start with Olu, Mr. Olu.
Thank you so much, Mr. Odiambo. You know, when we talk about the battle for Mount Kenya, first of all, Mount Kenya has the highest number of votes as per the numbers, the IBC numbers. Yeah. And why is it that many presidential aspirants are running for the Mount Kenya region? It's because, number one, they are not going to have a presidential aspirant this electioneering campaign period. And for you to become the president, if you get a running mate from this region, that means you stand a very high chance of winning the presidency. Remember, they have a voting capacity, the registered voters of 5-point-something million plus. That is a very good number. That is why you are seeing the former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, he has been intruding into the region. The Deputy President has always been there, and very many aspirants. You see, Mount Kenya is like a hot cake. For you to become the president, you must get a running mate from that region. That's why so many presidential aspirants are battling for this region.
Thanks so much. So because they don't have the president this time round.
Yeah, they are not.
And what of Mr. Muturi, the speaker? Is it from the Mount Kenya?
Yeah, Mr. Muturi is from Mount Kenya, but for now, I don't see if he commands the region. So I really don't see him going all the way to the president.
So because of that,
yeah.
Now, that is reason number one, according to you.
Yeah.
Mr. Nilima, Mr. Brian.
Thank you so much, Mr. Diam. According to me, I would simply say that Mount Kenya region as it has been echoed by my friend Ulu Obwana, as the highest number of votes. And that same region, remember, is the home for our current president, the outgoing President Kenyatta. And so the region is expected to follow footsteps of the president. Unfortunately, the deputy president, which of course is not being supported by the outgoing president, has a lot of influence in the same area. And therefore, the candidates, the two main presidential candidates, have a lot of tasks to convince the region to vote for them. And acquiring about 50% of the Mount Kenya region, it means it's a high chance for that candidate to make it in the state house.
So the current president, has a say on the votes of Mount Kenya, according to you?
According to me, the current president has a say.
So it can influence
It can largely influence the path that the region shall follow.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the deputy has some influence in the same area. So that one brings a condition of competition in the same area.
Thank you so much,
that's
Mr. Brian. Mr. Masai, according to their opinions, do you first agree with their opinions?
Okay, I may to a certain fraction agree with their sentiments, and again in another fraction I may disagree.
Reason for disagreeing them?
Okay, there is, as I normally say, that there is some facts we cannot run away from. That being the fact that Mount Kenya is being viewed, or it is the fact, it's not the matter as of being viewed, but it is the fact that Mount Kenya holds the most registered voters across the world. It's the region with the most numbers of voters. But again, one thing people are failing, it is that they are thinking that we are still in that notion in which ethnicity influenced the kind of a leader we are likely to have.
So you are against this?
Though it is fact that for you to be a president, you must get support from certain place. But again, it is not very fact, or it is not a. We cannot say that it is a must. So we can say this is a paranoid. It is some two conflicting statements. So in that case, that's what I can say.
Thank you so much, Masai. Sami, what is your take?
I am of the first of all, I'd like to make to enlighten my friend to disavow from such terms as unfortunate for the DP Ruto to campaign in the Mount Kenya region.
Excuse me, Mr. Musungu. You are still straight on this point. So can you just make your first before we proceed to that one?
It is common knowledge that politics in Kenya are always aligned according to ethno-regional affiliations and kingpins. But this year, I'm seeing things change. The youth, the people are thinking from in a different trajectory. Now, back to the question, the battle for Mount Kenya.
Yes,
We had mentioned earlier in this same setting that the race for presidency will be a two-horse race.
What do you mean by that?
We meant that the two major opponents and aspirants will be the Deputy President, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, and His Excellency the Engineer, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, that is what we said. In the same light, they are the same people who are going to fight for Mount Kenya. It has been mentioned here that Mount Kenya produces the greatest number of voters. I'm going to confirm that. Now, if that is the case, we understand that for one to be president in Kenya, you must have 51% of the total votes.
50%.
50. Okay, in the same it's 51. You must have a total of 50 plus 1 votes. If that is the case, indeed Mount Kenya is a hot case. It's a hot cake. And after the Sagana declaration, things are hot. That is all I can say.
Thank you so much. As you still proceed with the discussion, I can still urge our viewers and anybody there to kindly continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Young Political Elites. As we told you before that this channel is being sponsored by the Filamu Mtaani and the Campus Vine. My guests, thank you so much for participating in the first thing. Now, on 23rd February this month, we held the Sagana 3. The mighty Sagana, I think people are calling the mighty Sagana. the Sagana Declaration. Now, according to you, what did you expect from the President of the Republic that he's going to say? Or did you take his declaration? Was it a news to you? Or how did you take it?
I'd like to address the Sagana 3, as we term it, and on two criterions. First being that he addressed the political parties. It is common knowledge that Jubilee Party is the largest party in Central region, in the Mount Kenya region so far, but he went on to attack the minor parties. He called them the VMAs, the small parties in the region that the people are forming. Maybe the Service Party of Mwangi Kiunjuri, and the others, the parties by Moses Kuria and the governor of Murang'a. And there are two people who responded immediately. Mwangi Kiunjuri responded and he said that we should form our own parties. People should not be forced to elect a certain leader. And what I know, that basing myself on the strong African personality, is that Africans hate things being forced upon themselves. And the Kenyans are no different. So it should be, we usually say there's a proverb. When we follow the example of an egg, if you break the egg from outside, that is death.
The death.
If the egg breaks from within,
Like
that is new life beginning. In the same way, if decisions will be made from within, from the perspective of a citizen.
So, Mr. Musongo, you are trying to say that the president is forcing the citizens.
In a way,
According to
permit
you.
me latitude, but I am of that opinion.
That is forcing
Exactly.
the citizens.
Exactly.
Masai, do you agree with this statement?
Yeah, actually, 100% I do agree with him. And also to say something on matters of Sagana 3 Declaration, I would like to say that was not news for most Kenyans. Obviously, we knew it that Mr. President obviously is going to endorse His Excellency former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. So this was not news whatsoever. It was not news. But again now, our concern, it is on how we attack the other parties. Our concern is how he became against his own deputy president. That is Dr. William Ruto. So him endorsing
But he said,
Raila Amolo Odinga.
sorry for interruption. In his statement, he said that William Ruto can be the president, not now, but in future.
So yeah, but there's also something you are forgetting. Your statement is not complete. He said the DP cannot be president now. Maybe in future when he changes.
When he changes his behavior.
Yeah, when he changes his
So it means
behaviors.
there are some.
So he should also have told us which behaviors was he referring.
Yes, exactly.
Because
That we
actually he left most of us in dilemma because he has been working with this particular deputy president for about 9 or 10 years now.
Now the 10th year is now.
But now it is funny now.
They have been friends for a long period.
It's a bit freaky that now he's identified the weaknesses of his deputy at his 10th year, and he has been working with the same person for the 9 years. So how sure are we that he is not deceiving us?
Thank you so much, Mr. Masai. Mr. Olu, the Sagana 3. How did you take it, according to you?
Okay, before I go to the Sagana 3, allow me to say this. He has said that for a person to become the president of Kenya, you get 50% plus 1, which is almost equal to 51%. No, that is not the case. 50% plus 1 means if this candidate gets 50% of the total votes cast, this plus 1, it means 1 vote. Plus 1 vote of a registered member, a Kenyan citizen. That is the case, and the constitution is very, very clear. Number 2, when you talk about the Sagana 3, it's actually a preparation for the real earthquake, which is now going to come tomorrow, which will happen in Kasarani, where Jubilee are going to have their delegates meeting.
I think today the ODM have their rally, the Jubilee also have their rally, and then tomorrow.
Yeah. The president was actually going to Sagana to tell the people of Mount Kenya. Some people are saying that the president now has no say when it comes to Mount Kenya politics. Jubilee is dead. These are the sentiments that are coming from some of the leaders in Mount Kenya. But now he was coming to the region to tell the people that, hey, listen here, I am still the president of the Republic of Kenya, and at the same time, I am still the region kingpin. So when it comes to showing the region the direction concerning 2022 a general election, this is where I'm going to take the region. And hey, we are still waiting for the real earthquake, and ODM are going to have their delegates meeting today at the Bomas of Kenya, which is still going on, tomorrow at Kasarani, and we are waiting for now the real show.
So there is another earthquake apart from that one, Musalia Mudavadi, that you heard before.
Leave alone Musalia Mudavadi's earthquake. That was not the real earthquake.
He's a politician in Kenya, and he deserves his respect.
Yeah, I respect. I respect.
You have to know that.
I respect Musalia Mudavadi.
I respect his opinion.
Can I add something? I'd like to pose a question. I have not heard geologists drawing from seismographic results mentioning that they are real and fake earthquakes. That is something I've not heard before.
Okay.
Oh, brother, understand it in the political world. Actually.
Allow me also to engage Mr. Brian to his take according to the Sagana tree. So, Mr. Brian, how did you take Sagana tree? Was it news to you or it was just a normal thing?
Thank you for that opportunity. But before I go to Savannah 3, let me respond to something that has been said by my friend Masai. He said that President is seeming to be deceiving Kenyans by at the last moment he's turning against DP Ruto. This is not a news to you, and you said it earlier. It's not a news. You knew you would not support the deputy president. And the moment they were sworn in as president and the deputy president for the second term, immediately they were sworn in. You know what the deputy Ruto has been doing, campaigning, and the president has been complaining all over. And he has been urging the deputy and his team to come together so that they can, first of all, do away with their manifesto. They can, first of all, work together before they come to campaign issues. Secondly, the president revealed some of the reasons why he's not supporting the DP.
Can you give us one?
One of the reasons he says, these people are not ready to work. For example, agricultural docket was theirs, and they are complaining. And the moment Munya was posted to that office,
the CS Munya.
Yes, Munya, Peter Munya. Within 1.5 years, everything changed. Did you not hear that? So the president is not deceiving.
So are you agreeing that what he's saying is true? You listen to that, you hear that.
In his democratic right, the president is very right. Yeah. So that was just to clarify that point.
Thank you. So.
Okay, secondly, about the Sagana 3, it was not a news that the president would support the former prime minister. But it was not just a support. You know, president has been so silent in these issues for so long. And in the Sagana, we saw it. He came out so strongly to remind Kenyans that he's still powerful. Like, he was bitter. He was bitter in his speech. And according to me, I learned that the president is right. Like, he's trying to lead the office in a direction that he feels is fit for Kenya. And he's not forcing, as Mzungu had said.
Thank you so much. So I'm seeing our supporters are saying that they're listening and the show is live. I like that one. You have something to add?
Indeed. There's something I'd like to mention. We pride ourselves as a country being a democratic outfit. Now let us ask, drawing from all other nations in the world that take pride in being democracies, USA being one of them, all of them, the very person at the core of power is a citizen. Is that true? Now, why is it that in our Kenyan setting, we have to respond to the issues of the kingpins, to the issues of the regions? Yet, the very decision should come from us as citizens to make our own decisions, enlightened decisions, and that is why we are here. And I'd like to urge all of us here present to remain objectives. To remain objective, our main purpose is to enlighten the masses, to make enlightened decisions 164 days from now. The other issue is on the Sagana 3, one thing that I have not mentioned, and I'm sure it is going to affect the votes in Kenya. We are ranting about numbers right now, but very many people are despondent because of the high economic status of living right now. Many people say, I'll not go to vote. What is the need? I wake up at 4 to go and vote, to line up to cast my vote. Yet, a few years from now, I'll be suffering. Life in Kenya is not easy.
So they don't want to vote because
I'm sure,
they fear suffering.
Exactly, a very good number. Not they fear. We have seen there is nothing coming from the votes. Now I'd like to urge all those people vying for political offices. Please, do what you promise. Do what you promise. So that the votes of Kenyans, they will have that mandate. They'll exercise their democratic duty in voting.
Thank you so much.
Also, to add something little on whatever he has said, I would also like to a bit disagree with my friend Brian. It's not that I meant that the president is forcing Kenyans to vote in Raila, but in some way is trying to influence Kenyans to vote for Raila. We all know this. But again, one thing we need to remind our president is that he should know that the power of a person to assume the office of the presidency, it is vested on the will of citizens. But again, he should not be making some choices on us. This is what actually I can say it is contributing to all this misery we are going through now, of economic high living standards, a lot of fluctuations and all those sorts of commotions we are experiencing in our country. Since his actions actually, they are the one which bringing out all this tension, and in the response to that, it results to what we call political temperatures. So political temperatures are rising all over, and this is because of the actions that the president, His Excellency Uhuru, is taking. But again, if he could have just remained neutral and actually say, let the best person win. Since he only has one vote, I remember I can solidly say so. He only has one vote.
You have one vote, you also have one.
He has also one vote. So unless there is some other ways in which people do use for them to be in the office. But again, you want to remind them that even if it is there, this time round there will be no any person who will be in the office through some dubious way. So if they are expecting to see that, then things might overturn in the way.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amasai. Now our guest, because of the time, and also I'm happy with the response from our listeners from all over. They are saying it is live, and they are very happy with what is going on. I also want to inform them that the young political elite is here to inform, enlighten, and also to bring something new to them. And this is the voice of the youth. Because what you say here can also change other people outside there. Now, what we are going to do, I'm going to give each and everyone a minute to say his last word. Because of the time, we'll just cut it short. You just say your last word. What you can add your fellow Kenyans, most of the youth, because it's now 164 days to election. So what can we do with this 164 days to election? So allow me to start with you, Mr. Brian. Your last word to your fellow Kenyans, what can you tell them?
Thank you so much, Mr. Diam. So my last word to my fellow Kenyans is that we are at the peak of our political atmosphere of this country. The elections are approaching as soon as possible. So we saw the president making this declaration, and I just want to urge us that I want to urge us to remember that Uhuru Kenyatta has been the president for 2 terms. And in Sagana he said that what he is doing or what he has done, no any other president has done. So he has a legacy to make, and you know what is good for Kenyans. So I believe he's taking us towards the right direction, and he has all the reasons to do that. So as we are approaching,
thank you so much, Mr. Because of the time, allow me to cut it short. Yes, Mr.
Okay, lastly, the show has been interesting, and I would just like to say this. In Mount Kenya, we are going to witness a different voting pattern this electioneering period. In that, the previous elections, they used to vote as a block. But right now, we are seeing so many political parties, which is also good, and it shows that our democracy is really growing. What I would like to tell the youth is that, we have been used by these politicians. They go to rallies, they buy us off, they pay us as low as 500 shillings just to heckle other politicians. We are above that. I would like to urge my fellow youths to be patriots to our country, to avoid misleading these politicians, misleading them and using them, and eventually it is not good. That is just what I'm trying to tell the youth outside there. Don't be misused by these politicians to be given money so that you
Your
help
message to the youth that let them not be misled by the
politicians.
Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Musungu, your last word.
And want to conclude using the words of the founding father of Uganda. He said, in democratic setting, the citizen does not only enjoy the ultimate power, but also the ultimate responsibility. This comes in voting. Register as voters and make enlightened decisions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You are Mr. Masai.
Also, to be very brief, my last word, I would just like to urge my fellow youths outside there. Actually, you know, for us to have the best leader, then we must vote. So it's my urge that for the youth, let us come out in big numbers the time of election. Let us go and elect the leader of our choice. Let us not be misused. Let us embrace unity. Let us embrace peace as a country. This is what holds us together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, our team. As I said before, and I still repeat this, the program is being sponsored by the Filamu Mtani and the Campus Vine. And today we want to appreciate our editors being headed by Mr. Derek. He has really supported this show and we really appreciate that. Finally, to our subscribers, we also appreciate. Just continue to subscribing and also inviting friends to like the channel. I was your presenter, Elfas Odhiambo. Thank you. We meet the same place, same day. Thank you so much. We meet again tomorrow. Yes. Thank you so much.